Hi guys, it's Jeweliyana. Today we're going to make one of my favorite comfort foods, tuna casserole. And we've got the classic pasta version, a vegetarian version, and keto version, so you can mix and match any way you like. Here's some of the ingredients we're going to use, quick snapshot, depending on if you're going to go with just regular classic or keto. All the ingredients will be listed in the description, and if you follow along, I'll show you how to make each variation. Let's get cooking. Whichever variation you're going to make, you need 4 stalks of celery, 3 cups of grated cheddar cheese, preferably old sharp cheddar cheese, gives it more tang. And you want to have the juice of half of a lemon and 2 tablespoons of mayo. If you're making the classic version, you want to put 3 cups of pasta on to boil in salt water. Just cook it according to instructions and then drain it and set it aside. For keto, you want to chop up your cauliflower into bite-sized pieces. And also for keto, you want to chop up your green beans into bite-sized pieces. And then we're going to blanch the cauliflower and green beans or cook them for about 10 to 12 minutes, parboil them and set them aside, drain them and set them aside. And while that's happening, we're going to grate 3 cups of cheese. I like to cut the celery in little skinny strips first, and then in little chunks. This way you just have nice bite-sized pieces. We're going to put them all together now, but I'm going to do them one at a time. So we'll start with the classic, with the pasta. I like to start with the base of Campbell's cream of celery soup. If you don't like using any pre-made soup mixes and things, or you don't have it, you can just use the sour cream base mix that I will explain in a few minutes when we do the keto version. In a large mixing bowl, you want to put that can of the cream of celery soup, and it's just the small can. I don't know if they come in different sizes, but it's just the standard traditional 284 ml size can of cream of celery soup. And then to that we want to add 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise. And then in there you want to add the 4 stalks of celery that we chopped up really nice. And this is the classic version, so we're allowed to use peas. We're not doing keto on this one. There's no peas in the keto version. And what we're going to do is just use 1.5 cups of, I just use frozen peas. They don't even have to be thawed. Just put your frozen peas in there. And then 1.5 cups of the shredded cheddar cheese. We want to save about half of what you shredded to go on the top, but we like to mix some in to keep it all nice and cheesy in here. So let's mix this up first. A little bit of salt and pepper to taste. I would go light on the salt just because you probably cooked your pasta in salt, and this cheese is salty and the tuna is salty. So salt and pepper to taste, and then 1 tablespoon of finely chopped onion. And then to that we want to add 1.5 teaspoons of nicely fresh squeezed lemon juice and 2 tins of canned tuna. I don't even buy tuna except for making this. Is it just the small size tins? You want to have the tuna drained, of course. It's the 184 grams. I'll have it, of course, like I said, in the description. All the ingredients lists for all the variations. And I just like it to have more protein, so I do 2 cans of tuna in this size serving. So you want to mix that up nicely, and then we'll add the pasta. So when you cook 3 cups of pasta, it turns out to be about 6 cups, a little bit more than 6 cups of cooked pasta. And we want to stir that up. Stir it up so it's nicely mixed together. And then into your casserole dish, just put a lightly greased casserole dish. You fill it. And then the last step is just to put the last of that cheese on, sprinkle the last of that cheese on. And then we're going to bake it in the oven at 375 for about 30 minutes. You just want to keep an eye on it, and when the top is all, the cheese is all nice and melted and bubbly, it's good to go. Okay, let's do the keto version now and the vegetarian one. For the keto version, I'm just going to make a half recipe, so I'm not going to tell you the measurements because I don't want to mess it up, but I will have the full recipe proportions in the description for you. Okay, so for the keto version, we're not using any soup. We're going to start with some sour cream. And then we want to add a little bit of mayo. This is olive oil based mayo, so that falls in the keto range. Then of course, we want the celery. And instead of doing peas, we're doing the green beans, which are steamed with the cauliflower already. So we'll add those at the finish line here. But we want to add a few more ingredients just to give it that real nice gammy flavor. So I'm adding some nutritional yeast. For anybody who's on a yeast-free diet, it is not an activated yeast. It's deactivated, so it's actually really healthy for you. Some nutritional yeast, and then some finely chopped onion, a little bit of, once again, the pepper and salt to taste, and some lemon juice. And of course, we got to add the tuna, or it wouldn't be tuna casserole. We want to stir that up, and then one last ingredient is 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. And we'll add the cauliflower that you already steamed in the earlier video. So the cauliflower with the green beans, that was steamed for about 12 minutes until it's nice and tender. Mix that up, and then we need a little bit of cheese in this one too, because that cheese just makes everything taste better. So again, for this one, we'll put half of the cheese inside the recipe, and then the last half we will put on top of it. So you want to finish this off with the last of the cheddar cheese, and then bake it in the oven at 375 for about 20 minutes till the cheese is nice and bubbly. And there you have the keto version. Now, if you want to do the vegetarian version, you just leave out the tuna, and you can do it like this keto style, or you can do a half and half and have half pasta, half cauliflower, and you can do green beans and peas. Mix it up however you like, just so you get lots of vegetables in there. All of the variations will be delicious. And if you would like these variations separated out, I now have on my Etsy shop these downloadable cookbook recipes that have the picture and the instructions and all the ingredients. So those will be available. The link will be in the description. Look at these beauties. Can almost hardly tell the difference between the two. So look at that nice cheesy goodness with the classic one. And guess what? You're going to get the same cheesy goodness with the keto one. Bon appetit. If you liked cooking with me and you want to learn some more recipes, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching Jeweliyana's Kitchen. Have a great day.